if you're thinking about starting a fitness journey, okay? Well, I mean, there's not much to think about. You should be starting one. If you're thinking about starting it, that's a great first step. Or maybe you're somebody who has started recently, but you feel like you don't know that much or you don't know enough to see the results you want. Well, don't worry about it because I got you covered in this video. I'm going to talk about the 5 things that you need or should do in order to get the most out of your fitness journey right away. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy John Mango. I'm here representing Beyond the Iron, where I'm looking to take your fitness and your nutrition further so you may change your life forever. If you are new to the channel, I like to drop lots of fitness related content in case you couldn't tell by the title. That is what I focus on here: nutrition, tips, tricks, strategies, meal plans, tips. I think I said that one. Tips, I said that already. And I bring it all to you right here on a weekly basis. So if that's something that you're interested in and you feel like I could help you, which I can, then by all means consider subscribing. Listen, just because you've been in the gym for a little while, or you've got the intention of going in, that's great, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to maximize. As a matter of fact, you're probably not going to maximize your time in that first maybe 1, maybe 2 years of working out, and ultimately that will obviously slow down results. And it's also a big reason why a lot of people don't stick to their fitness. So I want to go ahead and fix that for you today, because I was in a similar situation. I actually wasted, you could say, the first 3, 4, 5 years of my lifting career. Now, obviously it's not a waste, since I'm still here today, and everything I learned along the way I can share with you to make sure you don't make the same mistakes I did. One quick thing: if you stay until the end of the video after I give you the 5 things that you need or should do, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the biggest piece of advice I was given when I was first starting out, that only until I actually listened to that piece of advice and understood how important it was, did I finally realize what it took and start making progress. Alright, time to jump off the video. The first thing that you need, and by the way, these aren't all material items or physical things, okay, a diet plan or anything like that, but the first thing that you're gonna need is a specific goal. Now, here we go, another one of these guys with the classic mundane things you need. Well, listen, this is important what I'm telling you, right? I wouldn't be telling you this stuff unless I knew that it would help you, and unless it has helped several people that I've coached in the past. So, first thing is a specific goal. So hear me out on this one. Most people, they have a goal, and this is why they're considering fitness. Let me ask you, what is your goal? I want you to comment it below. Let's see if it fits the criteria. So, let's say most people, they got the goal, and again, it may be similar to your goal. I want to look like this, or I want to look like that, or I just want to be strong. I want to be toned. Oh, I hate that word. You want to be ripped. You want to look jacked, you want whatever, right? All these fancy words. There's plenty of those words floating around the industry. The problem is there is no specific numbers. There's no way to quantify those words. And without a specific way to quantify a goal, you will never know if you're on the right track. You'll never know how long it's going to take you to get there, how much longer you have until you get there, all that kind of stuff. And then from there, where do you go? What do you do after you're jacked, huh? Because once you're jacked, then that's it, right? Well, obviously that's not the case, and this is why we need a specific goal. And more technically, we're speaking about something called SMART goals, okay? It's an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time. So you need to have each one of these components into your goal. So let me give you an example of a non-SMART goal. I already did, but let's say I want to get toned. Even still, I want to lose 10 pounds. That is still not a SMART goal because you're missing lots of components. So let's go ahead and alter that goal a little bit more. Let's say you want to lose 10 pounds. Well, that's realistic, sure. What's the time frame? The time frame is the missing component here, okay? Now, the time frame, if it's in 2 days, that's gonna be a little bit unrealistic. 10 pounds, maybe you wanna do it in 10 weeks. That's a lot more realistic. And also, as a coach, my recommendation is definitely more conservative, so that would be great. Let's say 10 pounds in 10 weeks. Now you have a specific goal. Now, since you have a specific goal, you can break it down. 10 pounds in 10 weeks is 1 pound per week. Now you have quantified what you need to do on a weekly basis in order to achieve that. You can check out this playlist I have on the channel to show you exactly, how you can go about doing that in case you were wondering, which you probably are. So now, breaking that down week to week basis, you have something that you're achieving. You have targets that you're trying to hit every single week, and that is ideal because eventually it's going to compound into you getting to that goal or even further. So the second thing that you need to do, actually the second thing is a material item. You have to go and buy a scale. Now this right here, if you're not freaking out already, you're one of the few, I can guarantee it, because buying a weight scale is extremely controversial. The fact that I'm saying this may seem like I'm losing credibility. However, the only people that think that you shouldn't weigh in on a scale are people that don't base their coaching strategies or their fitness methodologies around science. See, again, just like the SMART goal, you need to quantify what you're doing, okay? Without quantifying what you're doing, you'll never know if you're actually getting there. Or maybe you're getting there, but you're simply not gonna get there as quickly. Numbers are key here. So buying both a weight scale for your body weight, the bathroom scale I should say, and also a kitchen scale. So again, now it's gonna allow you to weigh out your foods. It's gonna allow you to weigh your body weight. Why is body weight so important? I've explained this in the past, but essentially the key there is to not get attached to the number on the scale. Of course, that is what most people say when they say the number on the scale doesn't matter. It doesn't mean throw it in the garbage. It simply means use it as what it is. That is a tool, okay? It is one of the several tools you should be using at all times in order for you to actually make sure you optimize your fitness and get to your goal as quickly as possible. Unless you're okay with wasting time, in which case you can always try to guess and progress. But I hope you understand that by now, there is a very low chance of you accomplishing that. Let's take, for example, you want to lose those 10 pounds in 10 weeks. Great. How are you gonna quantify if you're on the right track? You're just gonna go off of pictures? Well, that's not accurate because daily fluctuations sometimes are not noticeable in the mirror. Even weekly fluctuations sometimes are not noticeable in the mirror. And this is why you need to weigh in on a daily basis. Take averages, as I explained in this video right here, where it's gonna teach you how to find your calories. It's gonna teach you how to get those weigh-ins daily to make sure that one, you don't get attached to the scale, but two, you maximize one of the most important tools when it comes to optimizing your body composition and improving your fitness. All right, the third step, this is one of the ones that I was missing for a very long time and is definitely one of the most important things you could possibly do, and that's gonna be quantify and track your workouts. So again, this comes down to numbers. You probably see the trend here, and I'm gonna admit I am a big numbers guy. I have to have everything attached to specific numbers so that I have specific targets, and that's what has allowed me to incrementally improve over time consistently. And this is the reason why you want to track your workouts. Okay, this has been a game changer for me. So I'm gonna briefly go over it, but if you want a little bit more detail as to how to do this and exactly why this is going to just take your gains to a whole nother level and how time efficient it really is, click this video. Apparently I got a plug for every friggin' point here, eh? It's gonna show you how I track my workouts and how you can do so as well to get the most out of it. But briefly, just want to say tracking your workouts allows for you to accomplish what's called progressive overload. Progressive overload is the #1 way to build muscle, okay? Obviously your nutrition needs to be on point and all that good stuff, but if your nutrition is on point and you're not progressing, you're not improving performance, you're not gonna maximize what you can get out of your workouts, you're not gonna build as much muscle as you want, you're not gonna keep as much muscle as you have to while cutting fat, all that stuff. So quantifying the workouts is very important because the whole purpose of fitness, which is part of the reason why I love it so much, is that you're looking for constant improvement. But these improvements are not massive, they are incremental. And there comes a point where people plateau. The reason why people plateau is because, well, they're not quantifying their workouts. So it's easy to throw on an extra 25-pound plate, an extra 10-pound plate, and try to remember, I did that last time. Or better yet, some people will say, I feel stronger, let's see how strong I am today. And that leads to people going for 1 rep maxes, that leads for people hitting plateaus for long extended periods of time, that leads to people just not seeing the results they want, and eventually sometimes even getting injured. Quantify the workouts, that way you can make sure that you understand. Last week that you were in here, you did so and so for this many reps. Now all you gotta do is get 1 more rep. 1 more rep. People take it so trivially, they don't understand that if you increase by 1 rep every single week, or 2 reps, or 5 pounds here and there, eventually it's going to compound. In 5 years, your body is going to be stronger than you ever imagined. I know 5 years doesn't sound sexy, but the truth of the matter is this is a long-term game, and that's why the sooner you start quantifying your workouts, the better off you'll be. Take it from me. Anyway, the 4th thing is something that is overlooked. I actually feel like I kind of like these tips. I feel like this is very overlooked stuff. But the 4th thing is going to be find your weakness and minimize or eliminate it. Now, if you've been following me for any length of time, you understand that I don't believe in restricting and cutting things out completely when it comes to diet, just for adherence purposes. However, if you've recently started your fitness journey and something is significantly holding you back, or maybe you've gone down the fitness path before and you've been unsuccessful due to a specific food item, due to, going out on a specific day or night, or a specific schedule you had set up, whatever the case is, your goal is to pinpoint that thing. So I'll give you an example. Let's say your weakness is the weekends, okay? As I'm sure most people's weaknesses are the weekends. And for that, I did create a Weekend Warriors series that I kind of help explain how we can conquer those, but that's a whole nother topic for those episodes. The weekends are tough, but the point is obviously you can't eliminate the weekends. You still want a social life, and that's all great, and that can still work. However, what you need to do is pinpoint something about the weekends that's causing you to ruin your diet. Maybe you're going out to a restaurant every night on the weekends, okay? If that's the case, then it's either going to be time to figure some way to work around that, whether it be save calories earlier on in the day, fast earlier on in the day so that you don't do damage later on that night, or it might just be you gotta cut out that one night out. It's gonna have tremendous benefits, and I know you might be thinking, well, I need both those nights and whatnot, but honestly, we can balance here. But if that one extra night a weekend is taking away from your fitness, is it really worth it? So you gotta make that decision for yourself. Again, there's no need to eliminate. In my opinion, you never have to actually eliminate something. However, in some cases, it is still the best way to go about it when it comes to making a change in your lifestyle that will lead to results down the line and an improvement in your fitness in this case. I'll take another example. Let's say a food. You constantly have these Twinkies in your cupboard, and you found that those have just been ruining your diet from day one. Well, guess what? It's time to take those Twinkies. I wouldn't just say stop buying them. Whatever Twinkies are in your house right now, go grab them and throw them in the garbage immediately. Okay, this is gonna accomplish 2 things. One, it's gonna remove it from your environment, unless of course you go back and eat it, in which case we got bigger issues at hand here. And the second thing it's gonna accomplish is you're actually gonna feel kind of good about yourself, and you're gonna surprise yourself with the fact that you actually went and threw out the Twinkie. Like, that takes willpower, and once you start making little willpower decisions like that, it builds up over time, and it makes making decisions like that easier along the way. Sorry for rambling on that one, but I hope I got my point across there. Number 4, remember, eliminate whatever you need to eliminate. That one thing that's holding you back. If there is one thing, if it's multiple things, start with one and work from there. The 5th and final thing is gonna be find either a workout partner, find a person that you can go to the gym with, and or hire a coach. Okay, now I didn't want to just lead this point out with saying hire a coach. People are gonna be like, oh, he's just trying to make money and all that. That's not the case, okay? Now, hiring a coach is extremely important, just as having a workout partner is. The only reason I think that hiring a coach is even more beneficial is because if you go in with a workout partner, they may not know what the hell they're doing either, in which case it's great for accountability. If somebody loses motivation and because they're not seeing results and then you're not seeing results, it's going to be hard to keep each other accountable. So the coach is great because you're actually investing money, meaning you're putting some skin into the game, and that's going to hold you accountable in and of itself. But also the fact that the coach knows knows what they're doing. That is, if you get a credible one, the coach knows what they're doing. They're gonna take care of everything for you, and it's essentially a shortcut to get to your goals, okay? This doesn't mean that you'll get there in 30 days, but it means that you're gonna speed up the process, okay? So that's why I think a coach is extremely powerful, because honestly, I could have saved myself years if I had just gotten a knowledgeable, credible coach right off the bat. Instead, I went through years of schooling, which again, very thankful and grateful for that I went this path, because I still do believe that I know more than 99% of trainers and coaches out there. And that is a true belief of mine, and it's not just a cocky belief. It is seriously just countless hours of research, trial and error, working with hundreds of people that I've determined the most effective scientific approaches that are beneficial for most people. So find yourself a coach like that. Doesn't have to be me. It will help speed up your progress, and that's something to keep in mind. Definitely not something to overlook. If you're willing to invest in your health, it will go a long way. Just like business owners invest in their business. Why? So that it grows faster. If you don't invest in things, then your knowledge, if you don't invest in books, if you don't invest in books, then your knowledge will not be very good. If you don't invest in your education, you're not gonna learn as much as somebody who does, right? So that same thing goes for fitness. Definitely need to keep that in mind. Investing in yourself and a coach and a trainer, very important. At the least, find somebody that can hold you accountable. Let's say you're trying to go at 5 a.m. in the morning. You found buddy who's down to go at 5 a.m. That's great to start creating the habit now. Now that you've stayed until the end of the video, which if you have, by the way, I appreciate you for watching and supporting. Go ahead and comment gains in the comment section if you even stayed this long, and I'll know who you are. But then again, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and say, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the #1 piece of advice I got from somebody back in the day. I believe I was around 18 and 19 years old. I didn't have many gains at all. This was probably the first time that I actually realized, I need to eat more food to gain weight. Yeah, it took me a long time to realize that because I'm a hard gainer, I simply wasn't eating enough. I thought it was just impossible, and that's just what I'm destined to be. Well, safe to say it broke out of that. And somewhere around this time, I was going to a gym. It was an LA Fitness back in the day. And there was this guy there, and he looked amazing, okay? He was a little bit shorter, but his body was insane. He literally looked like photoshopped, but again, not crazy big. I could kind of tell, like, it was obvious that he probably wasn't on steroids. He wasn't big, he wasn't massive, but he was shredded to the bone. And he was one of the few guys that I'd seen that looked that good and looked natural at the same time. So I asked him one day, because, I started talking to him, and I asked him, I said, hey man, what would be your #1 piece of advice, or the #1 thing that you say got you to look the way you do? And it was a very loaded question, very vague, right? But this is what he said to me, and without hesitation almost. He said this: the thing that I'd say made the most impact was when I went from eating clean 5 days a week and taking weekends off to eating 7 days a week clean. That's it. That's what he told me. And I was like, okay, I mean, that sounds logical, but at the same time, whatever. I didn't actually follow the advice. I just said, oh, that's great to know. Cool. Only until years later did I realize what he meant. Weekends, like I mentioned earlier, are destructive for most people, and the reason for that is consistency. Consistency does not mean weeks only and weekends off. That is not consistency. Consistency is something that is done every single day, okay? Daily, you are committing to your goals and you're committing to your fitness. So all these tips that I gave you, they're gonna be useless unless you commit to them and do them often, consistently, and truly just put everything into it. 5 days a week out of 7 is not putting everything into it. Let's face it, if somebody works 5 days a week and the other person works 7 days a week, who's gonna make more money? The argument of saying, well, if the person 5 days a week works smarter, then they can still make more money, but that's hopeless, because what about the person that works smarter and harder, right? There's always gonna be a massive gap between those people. And also, just from a whole mindset framing standpoint, understanding that this is a daily grind. You can't just take weekends off and think, alright, cool, 2 days to do whatever the hell I want. That is what leads to problems. That is why most people come to me in the first place, and that is why potentially you may have fallen off your fitness journey in the past. So that is the number one tip, is consistently conquering the weekends and doing these things daily, okay? Taking these tips and applying them and doing so on a committed, serious level. Everyone, thank you so much. If you're still watching this video, I appreciate you a little bit extra, and thank you so much for stopping by and watching it. If you enjoyed it, learned something, please leave a like down below. Comment what else you'd like to see on the channel, and I'll be sure to bring it to you. And don't forget to share it with your friends and subscribe for more gains, content coming every single week. Again, appreciate you for watching. I'll see you in that next video. I'm out.